Good morning. This is Kathy for Getting Chatty with Kathy, and I want to thank you guys for coming and listening to us today. I have some very cool ladies in the studio today that I'm really excited to hear what they're doing, because I know that they're helping with some demographic in the city that is really dear to my heart. They started RaiseHER Co. And I got two little girls. I have an 8 and a 10-year-old. So you guys are hitting my heartstrings by doing something like this. So I have SKYLAR and Talitha. Am I saying it wrong?
Talitha.
Talitha. I'm so sorry. I knew I was going to do something off, but I tried.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be here today and
bet.
just to tell my little group of people that I know that listen about what you guys are doing, because I know there's lots of other mamas in my world. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
So much.
So I warned you guys ahead of time that I'm going to ask you a few other questions, just not about RaiseHER. I wanted to know where you guys found your passion, maybe how you two connected, because that's probably a lot to do with what you're doing now. And I'm not sure which one of you guys wants to hit go, but either
Take it away, Talitha.
SKYLAR and I actually met in high school. So we've known each other for X number of years.
Which high school? We got to take it to...
We went to Levoldis, Dr. Martin
Levoldis,
Levoldis.
so Regina, born and raised?
Born and raised, yeah.
Right on.
So I was in the French program and SKYLAR was in the English program, and so we didn't really connect a lot in our day-to-day lives, but then we were in all the same extracurricular. It's going to surprise you, we were on the student rep council, we were in choir together, we were in a whole bunch of things, band, and then in our grade 12 year, we had some of the same friends as well, and then our grade 12 year, we were in a social studies class, and we got paired together for a presentation project, and just had the exact same energy going towards it, and then, that kind of, I think, firmed up our relationship.
Right. It was the perfect opportunity to kind of now get to know each other closer.
Yeah. And then going from there, both of our moms are very high achievers, and we're very career focused, obviously very family focused as well, but very career focused. And so that's where SKYLAR and I were like, hey, this is different than our friends. Our moms are go for everything, do it, you're a strong, powerful woman. Not that they weren't getting that, but that was just very evident in our relationship. And so flash forward a couple years, an International Women's Day, and we were feeling very inspired by all of the things that were being posted and all of that. And SKYLAR sent me a message with a quote, and it said, starting a girl gang of women raising women, hands up if you're in, starting a girl gang of women aggressively supporting other women, hands up if you're in, because if we get enough people, we're totally getting jackets. And she was like, there's something here. And I was like, heck yeah, there's something here. And then that was kind of where RaiseHER came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we did get the jackets.
And we got the jackets,
cool. Yeah.
And our moms are involved as well. So then she sent me that. We talked probably, it feels for maybe a couple hours. And then we just messaged our moms and we're like, do you want to come for a quick meeting to talk about something? And both of our moms, being who they are, they're like, yeah, sure. And then, then the rest is history.
Yeah, no, it's really, we started as a mentorship program, really because we had these strong mentors, built-in mentors in our lives and our moms, but
not everybody has that.
Not everyone has, especially women.
I remember when I told my grandpa that I was going to university, he said, why? Why do you need to do that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he was old school,
yeah,
bless
totally.
his soul, but that's the way he was raised. So for me, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Because I want to have a career.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and especially for those women who aren't in, a lot of the mentorship programs that exist are for male-dominated industries. So if you're engineering or, whatever it is, or the trades, but if you're a teacher, or you're an accountant, or you're even just a stay-at-home mom, everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs those skills. So where do you learn?
A sounding board and
the community of support.
Jeez, especially with kids. Kids are tricky. They don't have a manual. And when they're even when you're and working moms.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It's very difficult.
I know it's difficult for home moms. Bless you guys. Your home moms.
Oh, God.
No, I get it. But to leave your babies when they're 12 months old and go to work and you're peace out. You need somebody to talk to that's felt that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yep.
We were walking in today to record, and we were like, why are we both so tired all the time? And then realized that we are working moms, and then we do this on the side as well. Like, RaiseHER is just a passion project.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys do, like, for your regular day-to-days?
Go ahead.
We're both in marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, so very strong background. We've flip-flopped through a lot of different things, but both in the marketing world.
Since starting, I think we've both changed jobs a couple times, if not more, and then both had kids.
We've had 3 kids in the last 5 years collectively.
Yeah.
So we have little kids.
So you guys back each other up then, I bet.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
1000%.
Which is why I'm like, there's so many, I'm like, I love being a partnership. Like, there's always, if one of us sick or one of us is on mat leave, which has happened 3 times in the last 5 years. Like,
you have somebody else there.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what RaiseHER is.
For sure. So RaiseHER has kind of 3 main purposes. But in a nutshell, it's all about women supporting other women to become leaders in their communities. So we do that through programming. So we have a camp for girls, grades 5 and 8, that we partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters Regina on. So that's every summer. We have a mentorship program, which is a 3-month kind of project-based mentorship program that we partner with the U of R Champions of Change Club on. So we're very collaborative with other groups who are doing the same thing. So we have programming. We have education, so we'll go into businesses, organizations, community groups, and do training on leadership skill building, unconscious biases, microaggressions, psychological safety, all those things that we all need to know. And then advocacy. So we, like I said, partner with tons of community groups out there who have the same mission of supporting and lifting up women and girls. We have a podcast called The Scariest Podcast, and we talk about the real terrifying statistics that impact women and girls and what we can do to change those statistics in the future. So those are kind of the ways that we do or deliver on our purpose. But at the end of the day, we want to change the definition of what a leader is seen as girls and women, and to be less about a career title and a status and more about a set of behaviors that are really raising up other people to become leaders around you.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, and it's leadership isn't about you, the individual. It's about how can you support and raise up others as well. And we want to make mentorship and leadership skill building more accessible. Like I said, a lot of women don't have that accessibility in their lives, especially as a young girl.
Yeah.
So how can we make those opportunities more accessible?
Yeah. Love that. So how do you guys pay for all of this? Is what I'm thinking of. Like, this is a lot. Do you guys take donations? Do you apply for grants? Like, or is it just you? Is there a board? Like, this is like crazy the amount of work you just outlined as a side project.
This is like our spare time, evenings and weekends.
Like a full plate. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully one day.
Yeah, hopefully one day it can be our full-time job.
That is the
Love
goal.
that. We're gonna make that happen. I'm manifesting.
Thank you
guys.
Kathy.
Not having to go and work at a 9 to 5 while doing all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think luckily our employers have been and are supportive of us doing RaiseHER. So like my current employer is like, yeah, go do an interview during the day. Like, it's fine. So yeah, that's also very nice. But how do we fund it? We do take donations. We also work with like other community groups. Also, why we do so much collaboration, because 2 heads are better than 1 and 7 heads are better than 2. So all of that kind of thing. But yeah, and then we also just fund it ourselves. Like, it's
with your hours. And
it's really it's a labor of love. We don't really have a lot of overhead. Like, we are 2 people who work out of our house to get
do you
the
have
stuff
a board?
done. We have an advisory committee.
Oh, thank God. I was like, how do you guys do this all on your own?
And of course our
moms.
moms.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But we are the the main frontline people.
Cool. So you have an advisory committee that kind of can be eyes and ears about what's going on throughout the whole community.
Yeah.
So you're introduced to different populations, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that helps. Yeah.
Marketing, girls.
Yeah, no, I'm like, it helps that, like, so many people are like, oh, I really struggle with, like, social media, or I really struggle with, like, and I think Skylar and I are just too stubborn to ask for help. And so we're like, we'll just figure it out. It's going to be fine.
And we're also so busy that like, we don't have time. Like, it's
no
just
time to worry about it.
We're just trying to get it done in the times that we have to get it done.
Yeah, we were so busy, and we were like, should we start a podcast too? And then we did. And I don't know, like, how we do it, but we do it.
You just make it work.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think you're being great role models then to these little ones of yours too, right? There's nothing more proud than I was at. So my side business is, well, I don't even know. It's not a side business. It's my only business. Is QC Gifts.
Yes.
So I make like little Sasky merch kind of stuff.
Love it.
So one of the things that I always do is the Cathedral Arts Fair, and I also do the Christmas one because, you know, I don't like to do them a lot. They're a lot of work.
Totally.
But when I do it, I like to do it for those ones. Mm-hmm. So last year, my daughter, she's 10, turning 11 in August, and she's been watching me this whole time, because I was at a job that I, like, as a mom, it really tore on my heartstrings. I just couldn't really, like, find joy in it anymore. So, like, to leave that, start something that was, like, totally nothing, and then create it over the last 3 years, she's like, you don't really realize that they're watching. Yeah. Like, you don't do it because you're like, this is for, like, I don't do it so that she'll do it. Like, I do it because I'm, like, doing it from a number of reasons. But she was like, you know what, Mom? I'm going to make earrings and I'm going to go to the arts festival and sell them. And I'm like, really? Like, this isn't, like, something I would push on her because, like, I feel like she should have as much fun as a kid as she wants and, like, just enjoy being a kid. But she's, like, Mrs. like, type A. She wanted money to go to Sephora. And she was like, I'm doing it. So sure enough, she set up a booth with a girlfriend, like, beside me. I might have bought the table. You got to help these little ones out first. Yeah. And she sat there the whole day and was like, check out my earrings. And, like,
oh my God.
It was such a proud moment. And, like, if you don't see that growing up, it's not so... It wasn't scary to her because I was doing it.
Right. Yeah.
So being a role model to all these other people that don't have that, I think, is probably, like, huge. I never thought about being an entrepreneur growing up. It was too scary of a thing. I don't know.
And it is scary. But
we never even call ourselves entrepreneurs until we, like, talk to other people and they're like, no, you do have a business, though, and you are entrepreneurs. And we're like, oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
but you know what? Like, what else do we do with their spare time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Too, like, if you wanted to make it of value, I have a hard time sitting and watching TV for hours, at least without doing something. Like, I can watch TV, but if I'm, like, putting pieces of paper together, I'm happy with it. Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, life has changed in so many different ways over, like, our lifetime. Right. Like, my generation, so I'm dating myself. I was born in 81. Okay. So it was, like, the end of the stay-at-home mom eras. Like, there was just a few of us that had moms that didn't work the traditional, like, most moms did. I had friends with nannies that were, like, kind of doing that sort of thing was the transition. But my mom stayed at home. She, like, had her routine, and, like, that's what I saw growing up. And so now, I think as we've gotten older, people are now seeing women in full-time jobs. Or now, I think women are being more resourceful because there isn't balance if you're working a 9 to 5 anymore, I don't think, if your partner is. Or, like, those 2 full-time jobs. So I'm seeing more and more women being resourceful and being like, okay, what can I do that, like, allows me to take care of my family, take care of my soul, and take care of, because we're smarter.
Oh, 100%. And even just post-COVID, like, with all the remote options now and able to do, you can slice up your day as you want. You're not stuck on these rigid timelines of 9 to 5 and this and that and 15-minute breaks and blah, 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 like, it's just, you can make your day what you need it to be for you, which is amazing.
And I think for Sky and I too, we, like, recognize our privilege so much, and so we're like, we know that we come from, like, a 2-parent household, both parents worked, we were very supported in, like, our extracurriculars and all that kind of stuff, and now we know that we need to do something with that privilege.
Because you want Regina to be great.
Yeah.
And you want to share the share with others.
Totally, yeah. And, like, have an impact on something and not just take that for granted.
I love that. Yeah. I think that the worst off person in your community is a reflection of your community. So, like, we want, like, everybody to have those, like, help if you need it, or, like, sustainable, or work together, or, like, whatever we can so that we grow together better.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. I got goosebumps just saying that. So, okay, you guys, let's put an affirmation of, like, getting $500,000.
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
Okay? People, $500,000. Yeah. There's lots of people here in Regina and other places that are retiring and wondering what their legacy could be. I'm putting out that for you guys.
Kathy, you're too nice.
And if you got that, what would you do with it? Tell us.
Oh my God.
Seriously, pie in the sky.
Well, we'd definitely be full-time RaiseHER all day long. We always think about, like, what could we do if this was our full-time gig? With the amount of time that we spend on it now compared to what it would be full-time, I mean, we've always wanted to expand. So right now we're really based in Regina.
Yeah.
Are you in your homes working on
Oh
a
yeah,
basement
like we
kind of
love
thing?
a space.
Yeah.
We'd love to take like our programming. We'd like to
Yes.
hire a team to take
Yeah.
it across the whole
Yeah.
nation if we could.
Totally. We can also only offer so much programming because it's really the two of us, and then we collaborate with folks. And so, like, if we could do our mentorship program 4 times a year, if we could offer it to way more people, if we could do the
Exactly.
camp way more,
Yeah.
like, just like all of those things, we would
Just
do
expand
way more.
everything.
Yeah.
The impact at the end of the day, because
Yeah.
we are not a not-for-profit. We call ourselves a for-impact business. So
love
everything
that.
that we make goes reinvested back into
But
the
you take a
organization.
salary and you like the better they do, the better you do,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Good.
it's at the end of the day, it's all about the impact that we make, and we are very diligent in measuring that.
Yeah.
So we know what we're doing here in Regina, but there are so many other areas, especially in rural Saskatchewan
Totally.
and just beyond, that need support and need these opportunities
Do you
because
have
the access.
stats you could share by
Oh.
chance? I love stats. I'm
Yeah.
not a stats person.
I don't have any at the top of my brain. Do you have any in your brain?
Well, even like from our camp, we measure. So the girls are and gender diverse youth are grades 5 to 8, and they are girls and gender diverse youth from Big Brothers Big Sisters Regina, and then other kind of other partner organizations. So YWCA, Sophia House,
yeah.
Transition House, those types of things. So girls who have had just a different upbringing than other girls have. And so the camp is entirely free for them to attend. We bring in speakers and all kinds of stuff. So we measure.
Maybe giving tools to be resilient.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
CAMP stands for Confidence, Acceptance, Motivation, and Power. And we kind of go through what that means like on each different day and bring in speakers, and we do different activities related to those things. And so at the beginning, we measure how confident they are, how accepted they feel, how motivated they are, what is their power. And so we saw an increase in each of those categories of, I think, 60% and higher from when they started to when they finished. And it was just by a matter of like letting them tell their stories and letting them do what they felt strong enough to do and what they felt empowered to do, and also letting them be safe in trying and failing. So like, you know, you go to a gym class and everyone's really good at basketball and you're like, I'm not going to throw the basketball because I'm not good at it because I've never thrown a basketball before. No one is good at throwing basketball when they first start.
It's true.
So then like giving them an opportunity to just play and have fun, but also learn those skills and like learn, like, so we bring in
a non-judgmental.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, like everyone is very supportive. So then at the end they're like, oh, I'm a basketball player. And you're like, yeah, you are a basketball player.
And then build that confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just like those types of things. I mean, we have countless stats on our website, but pulling them from my brain right now.
Yes, visit the
You
website.
did really well.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
I-
Thank you.
I will say, like, in terms of impact, pretty much everything that we do, whether it's throwing an event, putting on a conference, putting on a program, teaching a course in a workshop in an organization, is for the purpose of creating a positive change. And so one of the things that we're really proud of is our mentorship program, because it is a project-based mentorship program. So it's only 3 months.
Okay.
We partner professionals across Regina and students, post-secondary students, to work on a problem that removes barriers for women or youth for equity and just in the workplace. And so we've had 3 years of this program so far, and the projects that have come out of it for enhancing
Insane.
opportunities in the community, for making things easier, more flexible, more accessible for women and just young girls or gender diverse individuals. It's insane. Like, it is amazing. So that in itself is the
And it's
impact.
probably things that we don't even think of, and it just gets brought up, and you're like, "Oh, that's an easy fix."
Oh, totally. From
Yeah.
like changing an intake form and making it feel like less intrusive, and you
Totally.
know what I mean, to creating more like a workshop about investment banking for women, like
Yeah.
that nobody talks about. What even if
Right.
you're in
Yeah.
the finance industry right now, going through post secondary. So there's so many little nuanced things, but those small things, ripple effect, make a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, in our education and the way that we teach students, especially in the high school, like a lot of those classes are like not practical skills so much. They're more like to apply to get you to like then learn about a topic. It's
Yeah.
not like here's what it means when you put $5 away when you're 15, and when you're 30 it's going to be this, 60 it's this, it's amortized, you know. I really think that the way that we teach students nowadays also has to adjust the way that we've all adjusted lately, and it just seems like we're just kind of getting there. Maybe, I don't even know. I feel really worried about our education actually.
Yeah, it's not moving fast enough.
No, and it's really great that you guys are doing something for girls. So you told me about your mentorship program. I know, and I see that you bring speakers in sometimes. So tell me a little bit about some of the speakers you've had.
Yeah, well, we very much so focus on, while there are amazing speakers elsewhere in the world, and, you know, people bring in people from Toronto and, like, Vancouver, we very much focus on the amazing people that we have in this community.
Yeah.
So, and highlighting their stories, whether they think they are leaders or not, or whether they think what they're doing is making an impact or not, we see it, and we want to showcase that. So, it's very, very important for us to showcase all the incredible people that we have in this city. We've brought in people, and by brought in, I mean they came down the street. We've had, like, Cadmus Delorme come and share, like Chief Cadmus Delorme, former chief, share with us. We've had Dr. Alex Wong, who did a whole thing for us during, like, COVID and that whole thing, just to talk about and ask questions. We've had Tamira Marchment, formerly from the Sophia House. We've had...
Laurie Campbell.
Yeah, Laurie Campbell.
Who's an VP of Indigenous Relations. Is that what her role is?
Something like that.
At the U of R. Yeah. The U of R. We've had Patricia Crow. We've had all sorts of individuals. And a lot of them, you know, we may say their name and you might not even know who they are. And that's strategic.
Let's dig.
It's to highlight these unsung heroes, these amazing leaders that are right underneath our eyes. That no one's even necessarily, not enough people are recognizing. And let's let them tell their stories.
Saskatchewan has some amazing people
we
here.
do.
I don't think that people get, like, the isolation that we have for, like, such a long period of time in the winter. And I think that's where we can find tune. It's like our superpower, right? Like, you need to figure out something that's going to bring you joy. Because if you don't, you're going to go cuckoo. And it can't just always be a trip out of town, right?
No,
like, you know, so, like, I have so many friends that are like, oh, I'm not that big of a deal, but I just, like, do pottery. And then you look at their pottery and you're like, are you insane? Like, this is the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Or, like, a project that they've done where they've, like, oh, you know, we just, you know, go down to South America and build churches or housing or whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me? These are fantastic things that I feel like we are so humble about. Nobody talks about it. So keep on telling those names and having those people. Another person that I read a book of recently, and I think you guys had, was Darcy Lang. Did you?
Yeah.
The 90%. And I love that because, like, come on, you guys. If there wasn't a good book written by somebody in Regina that people shouldn't be yelling about, that's a really good book about taking what you got and being like, this isn't that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm bad for that.
Us too.
So, okay, we've got our $500,000. We've expanded your guys. You're working full time. I'm manifesting big.
Thank you.
We're then going to have all of these mentors that are really good mentors, like people that know that they should put time into the community and haven't yet, are going to get paired with really smart people that just need some love and help, right? That's really huge. Then we're doing workshops, bringing in voices through the community that have a perspective here. That's big.
It's going to be huge.
And I think Saskatchewan, we're so strong right now, I think, in female leadership. Like, and in the traditional sense of the word leadership, if you look at, there's so many CEOs right now that are women in the big companies, whether it's Connexus or SGI or FCC.
NDP.
Like, huge. And they're amazing. But I think where the problem is that we really need to dig a little bit more, and this is what our training helps, is just how traditional our society is with those stigmas and those unconscious biases that we don't even think about but are still there. And those are the things that we need to work on challenging and changing for this next generation to be successful. So I think women right now are all for it. We know we got it. We know we got it going on and we're going for it. But it's okay. Now let's get the rest of the people on board in those communities and those corporate cultures to lift everyone up.
Yeah, totally.
I just think we've been blessed to live in a time where it's all of a sudden opened up a different way to work and live, and thank God we got there now instead of, I can't imagine the women from the 80s going all the way through working all the way and then retiring and not having any flexibility and just being passed up because you're not the right gender, because you're not in that team all boys club stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I just couldn't I probably would have gotten like a little ragey.
Oh, yeah, I think we were definitely blessed to be in the time that we were born in, because we would be very ragey. We already are a little bit ragey, so I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for doing what you guys do. Like,
Thank
my
you.
girls, like, now that I'm hearing what this is, like, the next seminar you guys have, like, they're going to have to come and listen.
Yeah,
Because
great.
this is exactly the type of thing that, like, I wish I had growing up. Because we didn't have that stuff. Like, it wasn't even, we didn't talk about emotions or anything.
Oh, no. Even talking about, like, menstruation and, like,
Oh, gosh.
nobody
or
knows about it.
perimenopause and all
Yeah.
that. I try and talk about it all now.
It's true, yeah. Like, I mean, you only hear what you hear in, like, social studies or, like, health studies in grade 5, and that's kind of all they talk about, and no one talks about anything else. And we're like, this is a very important subject. Every single menstruator goes through it, so, like, let's talk about it.
I see that they're now supplying those types of supplies, like menstruation supplies, at like the universities for free now.
Yeah, that's the U of R Champions of Change.
Yeah,
Who-
that was
was
all
you
their
guys?
work.
well, that wasn't
us.
us. No, our
We
partner.
partner with them.
You
Yeah.
partner. See,
And
like,
so that was a
that's
result
what
of their
we
work.
need.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be difficult.
Yeah.
For having your period,
Yeah,
and not like, oh, I gotta like can't go to school today because I.
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Well, and if you can't afford those,
yeah.
those
Products,
things, then
yeah.
what? Like, you
They
just...
should put some Midol in those packs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Drug us up, please. It's not comfortable, guys. You're
No.
wusses.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Anyways, on that note, I want to thank you guys. Seriously, I know I just said it, but I really do mean it, because the more that you guys are like championing our women here in this province, in this city, you know, the stronger we're all going to get together, the better our kids are going to be, the better, like, everything's just going to grow.
Yeah. We're excited for the future and hope that we can continue on doing what we're doing here.
Promise me that you guys will come on again, tell me about your guys' upcoming events and that sort of thing. Speaking of that, you do have an event.
We do have an event on June 12th. We're doing a fundraiser for the YWCA new Center for Women and Families.
I saw that there's a shortfall and we need to raise some money.
Yes. We need,
And soon, in 12 weeks, they open.
Yeah,
So-
we need to raise money in 12 weeks, and so we're doing the best that we can to help them do that. So we're having a garden party at the station out in Pilot Butte.
Oh, beautiful.
We're going to have a bunch of different activations and different things for people to do. We're going to have a live jazz band. We're going to do a panel. There's going to be bouquet building, lots of delicious food. We have a wonderful wine sponsor who's going to be doing some sparkling wine and all that kind of stuff.
Wonderful.
It'll be very fun.
Yeah.
We definitely encourage you. It's on our website. It's on the YWCA Regina's website to check it out and get tickets. But
And then the funds are going to this
All going to
spectacular
support-
building
Yes,
that's going.
yeah.
but literally it was a shortfall because of inflation. Like, they had the money raised and
Yeah.
it was because of inflation.
I don't
they
envy
can't. So
anybody
what the heck?
doing
No.
big projects like that.
It
It's
is
crazy.
tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'd love to help them out. And again, this helps our community. This is our women and children who
Yeah.
need housing and need that support. And if we can't help them, I don't know what we can do, like, honestly. So,
What
please
a
do
great way
come
to
out and
spend
support.
your time and great. Good job, guys. I'm really proud of you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kathy.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening today, and make sure to check out my links in the box below so that you guys can go to the RaiseHER site if you're interested in giving a donation. We're looking for $500,000. Please get on that. You laugh. It's going to happen.
I know, I appreciate it.
All right, guys. You take care out there. Bye now.